Hello everyone, welcome yet again. So in the last video lecture, we've already studied about the centralized organizations, decentralized organizations, right? And also the distributed organizations. But in this lecture, we're going to see about decentralized autonomous organizations that go by DAO, right? So in this video, I'll be majorly focusing on the layman distinction of what DAOs really are. And in the next video lecture, we're going to see how they go by the formal definition. So let's just get into it. Decentralized autonomous organizations. So yeah, I told you using storytelling. So there's a village of BlockLand. The people there had one major problem that their chief, Lord Centralis, he controlled everything. Collected taxes unfairly because he considered himself God. No one was superior to him. No one was even at the same level as he thought he was, right? As he thought he is. And he decided village laws without asking anyone. He kept the village funds in a locked chest that only he could open. And this all the mess, it resulted in the worst thing happening that one night he disappeared with all the gold. The villagers, they were left helpless. Now they needed a new system, one where no single person could ever control everything again, right? They wanted a system where no one was actually the in charge, where it was where whatever the governance was happening was distributed, was happening amongst them all. So there was a wise elder man named Satoshi. What he did, he gathered the villagers and proposed an idea. Now, the idea was, what if we don't have a chief? What if we create an indestructible stone tablet that is smart contract that records all rules fairly? Once anything is there on the smart contract, it is always there. It is indestructible. The tablet would store all village funds safely, act as treasury, let villagers propose and vote on decisions, give proper governance, automatically execute decisions without corruption. That is what is your and mine smart contract. Are you getting it? Everything is there in this indestructible tablet, and this tablet is responsible for storing the funds, for and then organizing the villagers to propose and vote for the new decisions, and then as per what the consensus of the decision turns out to be, if it is yes, it allocates the funds. It's just an if and else. Are you getting it? Just like the smart contract. This system was called the DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. The villagers agreed and chiseled the rules into the DAO tablet. No one could change them once written because it's indestructible. Anything that is there on the blockchain once cannot be deleted. Cannot be deleted. The first proposal was made by Builder Bob. Should we build a well in the village square? And then everybody started voting yes or no. Villagers, they used their voting tokens to vote for either yes or no. If the yes votes were greater, the stone tablet automatically dedicated funds to it and unlocked those many funds. No human approval needed. The rules were unstoppable. The well was built because the consensus said to be yes. For the first time, the village not only survived, but rather thrived without a leader. But now there have to be cons to it, right? So one day what happens, a group of thieves called the hackers found a flaw in the tablet, right? They tricked the system into sending them all the village funds. The village again panicked. Could the DAO be broken? But then again they came together, they worked together to create an improved DAO that said, if there is a suspicious transaction happening, or if any transaction is thought to be suspicious, villagers can vote to stop it. From then on, the DAO became stronger and more secure. So, with their success, other villagers also copied their DAO system. Soon, kingdoms, empires started using DAOs to be governed fairly. Now, what if one day entire nations were run as DAOs? So, the village of Blockland, it gave a prototype for everybody to use. That communities can govern themselves, smart contracts make decisions fair, make decisions automatic, trust in code and not the rulers. Rulers are humans. Now, let's see the DAO in another example. So, imagine a smart vending machine because we've always compared, if you remember, we've compared a vending machine with a smart contract earlier as before, right? When we were talking about that sibling fight and everything. So, imagine a smart vending machine that can run its business independently. This machine accepts payments in the form of crypto, dispenses snacks automatically, uses sensors to see when it has to restock itself, pays suppliers directly without a middleman, and even what it allows the people who are its regular customers to vote on what it should restock. So this vending machine operates without a human manager. It follows rules written in its smart contract. Are you getting it? So, a decentralized autonomous organization works similarly but on large scale. It is a self governing entity run by smart contracts where decisions are made collectively by token holders. Are you getting that? So, what if the companies had no CEOs? That is, DAO replaced traditional management with code and community governance. Can we create a self running startup? What is a self running startup? Where the DAO can fund itself, hire contributors, and operate without central control. Could governments run as DAOs? Imagine a transparent, corruption free governance system where policies are voted and enforced automatically. The most important question: would you trust a code more than a human boss? DAOs eliminate human bias but are only as good as the code behind them because still the code behind them is written by a human. Could be biased, right? But when it comes to the community, when a community has verified it, when a community is ready to agree by it, there's no wrong in going by it. So we've studied this before. DAOs, how they relate to treasury, how they relate to smart contracts, rules, proposals, rules and policies, voting together, right? In the next video lecture, I think we're good with this one. You have an understanding what a DAO is, how it self-governs itself, how everything is going on in a DAO. So in the next video lecture, we're going to see more on the formal definition of DAO, what it actually means, how it actually operates, right? It's not about the village, right? It's not about the BlockLand village. It's about how you use it in the blockchain, how you use it in the real terms, how are you capable of defining it when you're sitting in people who actually know. You can teach this to a toddler, you can teach this to a kid, but when you're sitting in an interview or when you're sitting in a semester exam, you cannot talk about blockland, right? You need to talk about it in the formal terms. And that is what we're going to see in the next video lecture. For this video lecture, if you have any doubts, just go in, make use of the comment section. And if you like the video, just go in, like, subscribe to follow along. Bye bye.